You're listening to the Turi Writers She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marcy Persky. In this installment, how long do you think a goat's memory can actually be? Also, what not to say on a rental application, and a proposal to help you get more out of a YouTube How to Fix It video.
The whole monsoon season has been so dry. We had to create our own water park last weekend.
How did you do that? On the farm?
Actually, it was kind of fun. Frankie, who is our water warden, right? I'm not kidding. It drives me nuts. For our one or two new listeners that may have found us by accident, I live up at 7,000 feet in the Arizona desert, and we haul our own water. And we have two big water tanks and a big old truck that we call Bobby Boucher.
Is that a new name? Because I thought it was Clifford, the big red truck before.
Clifford is the big red truck. The Water Boy is a big white truck. It's a dually with a big flatbed and a giant tank on the back of it.
I cannot keep up with all your redneck paraphernalia up there. I cannot. I don't know what half that stuff is, and I don't know the people you name it after. I don't know any of that.
Well, you probably don't know this because you only watch classy things on TV.
What is this, like Duck Hunters of America, Bobby
No,
Boucher?
no,
Who
it's
is
an
this?
Adam Sandler movie.
Oh, okay.
Called The Water Boy.
Okay.
And it always makes me laugh. And your eyeballs would roll so far back in your head that you would probably be blind. But
Thanks a lot.
Frankie brought Bobby Boucher around and hooked a hose up to it. And we made a water park, and we played in the water for like hours. It was, I think, 94 degrees up here.
Wow.
And it was so much fun. And then he turned off the water and went and looked, and he said, we probably spent $5, and that's all. So I think he's going to loosen up the screws on playing in the water, at least until we get some rain up here, because so far our monsoon has been a no-soon. We've gotten nothing. It's so dry. And
it's been the Mon late.
And, well, the canyon is still blazing. We can see the smoke now across the other side. That's on the north rim, and we are at the south rim.
Oh,
it's
boy.
not coming to us because the wind blows the other way, but there's fires all over.
Yeah, this is definitely a not in my backyard kind of situation here that you want. So I have been now with the new studio gear for a little while.
Oh, no. Yeah?
Not a long while. And the main thing that I've learned, and I would like to quote a friend of mine, my goal is to get through life without learning anything new.
Oh, I hear that.
I don't quite feel that way, but I have watched more YouTube videos that took more time to describe something that could be explained in 5 seconds. And I want to say to these people, this is not Hollywood. You're not ready for your close-up now, Mr. DeMille. Just tell me which button. Just that's all I want. This button, that button. And we've touched on this before. You go to YouTube, there's an explanation for it. But there should be a special category with get to the point explanations. You know how now there are a million acronyms? I had to go look up BIFL. I did look up BIFL. I'm like, what is
that
it?
Something nasty?
BIFL. Does it? I was convinced it had something weird to do with piercing, but all it stands for is buy it for life, which means it's supposed to last longer than your average refrigerator, which now blows up at the 10-year mark. But I didn't know what BIFL meant. And I think if we're going to just go around creating acronyms, we need one that says GTTP, get to the point. That's what we want. GTTP versions of every YouTube video. That's what I would like to request.
Do you know when the last time was that I watched a YouTube video to learn how to do something?
Well, you have a husband who knows how to do most things, so I would say it's been a little while.
It's been never.
Really?
Never.
Really?
I have never watched it. I don't have the attention span.
See, you would really appreciate the GTTP designation. You would like that.
Yes, that it would drive me nuts to sit through all the stuff that I don't need to know.
Well, because
It'd be
here
like back at a college lecture.
you'd be going crazy. You'd have your
Well, yeah,
notebook
I
out.
sat in the back so I could sleep all the time.
Right. And 2 minutes into your YouTube video, you would realize that you had absorbed nothing. Instead, like there are people who go, okay, this 20-second video is how to turn on your blada blada and arrange it. And then they do it. And then you get the people who are like, welcome to my video. Follow my channel for more interesting videos. Today we're going to go into depth. I'm like, shut up and get to the point.
Frankie uses those. Whenever something big is broken, I think he did it to, well, he knows how to fix our pellet stove. He hasn't done it because it's summertime, but I think that was video. I hate anything that's too much newfangled.
Yeah, I just
The
want a
old
video
fangled.
that says to do this, push the blue button and hold it for 5 seconds. And it almost saved our refrigerator, but it wasn't quite enough. And it's been hauled away now. So we have a new refrigerator, and I'm trying to find things to like about it. But it's hard to fall in love with a new refrigerator. With a new car, you can say, like, look at all the cool things this one does that the other one didn't do. Look how well it runs. But a refrigerator, which costs at this point almost as much as a good used car, it's like, what does it do? It keeps frozen things frozen. It keeps cold things cold. Nothing's changed here. Nothing to see here. Next.
I bet your refrigerator does something that mine doesn't
Keeps cold
and
things
never
cold.
has. It doesn't make ice. And it's not gonna, because it's never been connected to a water line in its life. We bought it used when we lived in Flagstaff 13, 14, 15 years ago.
Back when you actually had water that came out of a tap that you didn't have to haul to the house.
Exactly.
Right.
But it was like the nastiest water on earth. But yes, now we still have to go to the gas station to buy ice.
But we bought a lot of ice when the refrigerator died. I can tell you that. I think we bought almost as much in ice as we spent on the new refrigerator. It was an experience. You haven't lived until you've had to dodge 6 coolers on your kitchen floor. I have the scars and bruises to prove that was a lot of coolers. Speaking of water, every now and then we rent to a crazy person. Every now and then they look good on paper, but I have the list of people I won't rent to gets longer all the time. I've already told you I won't rent to lawyers, right? Because they have free lawyers and they're litigious. They'll look up the code and say, you had to fix this in 6 days and you sent somebody on the 4th day and it won't be fixed till the 7th day and we're not paying you any rent, like that kind of crap. So I don't rent to lawyers. I just don't. I think I've mentioned I had friends who were lawyers and one of them said, well, they're responsible and they make money. And the other one, who's the spouse, who's also a lawyer, said, I agree with her. You shouldn't rent to anybody who does what we do for a living. So I don't rent to lawyers. And I don't rent to anybody who's sued anybody in small claims court for anything stupid.
Well, how do you know?
You can look and see if they've been in small claims court.
I would make them take a personality test.
Well, this is sort
I
of
can draw one up for you.
This
if you
is what
want.
I'm getting at. This is exactly what I'm getting at. Exactly. I didn't rent to somebody years ago who worked for a tenants' rights organization.
That's a good one.
It was a good one. What else? I didn't rent to the person who desperately wanted to rent the apartment to get out of her neighborhood because her son was getting out of prison.
Yeah, that's another good one.
Didn't run to her. And I'll tell you who I now on my list is anyone who is leaving because they claim they had a terrible landlord. Because
Yeah.
apparently, although we have several other tenants who think we are dream landlords, now we have a tenant who thinks we are terrible landlords because there is no magic wand that will fix a leak. You have to open up wherever it's leaking from. You have to find the leak. You have to fix the leak. You have to let everything dry. I mean, there's steps. There's no magic wand. And this
You just
person,
well, that's why you need to just rent to plumbers, electricians.
oh, wait. Oh, no,
carpenters.
I'm not done. According to this woman, her husband is a construction professional, but she will never let us speak to him. I'm convinced she's a meth addict.
That could be. Maybe
Because-
there's no husband. His name is Casper.
The friendly ghost. We've met him the other night, and they have a new baby. And as you know, if you throw an S-ton, and I use that word deliberately, of baby wipes down a toilet, it doesn't go well.
Right. You're
Yeah.
not supposed to flush those down the
That's
toilet.
right. And so the brand new plumbing and the brand new everything, we got a note at 8 o'clock that things were broken. And I had the temerity to ask, I hate to ask you this, Amelia, but did you plunge it? I didn't say, did you throw baby wipes down there? And I said, could I speak with your husband, the construction professional? He's asleep. So she's crazy. I mean, I'm not just talking, there's stuff that's legit, but she's now convinced that like any place where there's a shadow on the ceiling is full of mold. And she calls to say that things are broken. And then you show up and she says, no, I never said that was broken. That works fine. And you're looking at the text on the phone that says, come over right away. The washing machine is broken. She's crazy. She's abso-freaking-lutely crazy. So that's made us a little bit nutty. And so I'm adding to my list because it's come back like a terrible echo in the back of my head. We love your place. We want to move in. We have a terrible landlord. And
Or you could just ask to see her mouth. And if there's, black teeth, I think that's your first hint if she's using meth. That's
people,
what the posters,
Yeah, no,
the billboards
I know
say
people with
as you go through
perfect teeth.
New Mexico.
I know.
New Mexico, just a bunch of people smiling with no teeth, and it says, don't use meth.
I actually know somebody who's in recovery, two people who are in recovery from meth addiction, and they both have beautiful sets of teeth. Beautiful, gorgeous. You would never know that one of them was living on the street 4 years ago and the other one was shooting up in her closet. So now I don't care if your old landlord is going to jail for operating a roach-filled fire trap. If you're complaining about your old landlord, maybe they're every bit as bad as you say, but I'm not renting to you. I've learned. So now, because I've spent a lot of the last week being called in to look at imaginary stains on ceilings, I have to ask you, when you find a substance that doesn't belong somewhere or a stain that doesn't belong somewhere, do you want to know what it is?
Yeah.
You do.
Well, it depends. If all of a sudden green slime appeared on my ceiling, I would probably want to know what that is.
Okay.
If it's a spot on the floor or the carpet, I will clean it. It depends.
Okay. Because the other day I'm invested in these new fruit smoothies that I'm making. I'm really liking them a lot. And they require frozen bananas. And as you probably know, when you peel the peel off a frozen banana, it's kind of a disgusting, slimy, fibrous, dark brown. Yeah. But the banana inside is good and you can put it in the blender for your fruit shake. But the other day I looked at my brand new refrigerator door and there was a disgusting, slimy. I'm like, oh, that's the banana. Okay, I know what that is. It doesn't bother me. But then today, I looked at the faucet over the kitchen sink and there was something on there and I thought about asking about what it was. And then I thought, I don't think I want to know. I'm going to wash it off right now. And then I realized that there are times when ignorance is the better path.
Exactly. 99% of the time, ignorance is bliss. If you see green slime on your ceiling, that's not so blissful. I would want to know like where the alien is hiding.
Okay, so this is situationally important.
Definitely.
Okay, all right. Well, you've
Speaking of bananas,
yes,
though,
yes.
and that reminds me of Kevin.
The goat?
Kevin, my giant goat, who now has moved.
Yeah, because you're one of those adoptive mothers who then decides that the kid that you adopted is no good. And so you take that adopted
he's got
kid.
5 acres.
Yeah.
And he's just around the corner. And I went and visited him the other day.
And?
Kevin and the dude. And he was laying in the shade and he's got all these little tiny goat friends.
Aw.
They're tiny. They're like really small. And they were all laying in the shade. And Kevin looks like this gargantuan, Paul Bunyan goat. And I got out of my car and I yelled, KK. And he immediately jumped up and came running over to me and starts kissing my face. He was so happy to see me.
Because you abandoned him. He's been waiting for you to bail him out of foster care, and you never came. You have not overcome your problems and come to get him.
Wait, he's kissing my face. And then I think he remembered that I threw him out in favor of this like nasty dog.
See?
And he bit my nose. And I just started laughing and I said, okay, I deserve that. And I'm glad the goats don't have teeth on the top and the bottom. But then he was nice again. I had to suffer, but he's doing great.
Yeah.
And Frankie, who hates Jerry for eating his
Jerry the dog
Birkenstock.
who ate the Birkenstocks. All
Yes.
these dogs are getting their names changed now. Now, instead of Belly who pees at the door,
It's Jerry,
Jerry who
the
eats Birkenstocks. Okay.
Yeah, yes. He hates his guts, but when he thought I wasn't looking last night, I saw him pet him. That's like a centimeter of an inch progress.
Thanks for listening to the Tory Writers She Said What podcast. Assuming you like what you heard, you might want to leave us a good review and maybe pick up my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air, which you can get from your independent bookseller or that giant website that sells absolutely everything.